So let me get started. I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. And I'm going to switch over to my other camera so that I can show you. So this is just a sample. Whoops, my light is on me and not on the project. That's not helpful. Let's try this. Okay. There we go. All right. So this would be the front of the card when it's folded shut. But when it's open, it has all of these different, so it will stand up like that. And of course, this is what it will look like when it's standing, since I can't show you that straight on. Okay, so that's just a little sample. This would fit in a regular card. The other two I'm going to show you, you would need a regular envelope, I'm sorry. The other two that I'm going to show you tonight would fit in a larger envelope. And the set that I used for this was Harvest Meadow, which I think I took out already. So it's a gorgeous, gorgeous set. And some of you got to see those samples that I did with that. And Connie's last meeting, she had her cards done with that. So this is another one, and I'm just going to finish it here real quick. I used the Blackberry Beauty designer paper for this one. This one is 5.5 by probably about 6 inches. And I just want to finish my sentiment here. I decided to use the Celebration Host set. That's a free set that hosts earned when the sales are over $300. And it has some neat sayings in it, and I love the fonts. And so I decided to use a birthday card, since I'm always late with my birthday cards. And I see my stamps aren't put together, so let me just show you how to put those together. You'd think, as easy as it is, that I would have them all done. Grab the right stamp here. And so you just put the whole thing on a block. Just doing this in case some of you don't have missed that. I keep telling people about this and they're like, "Oh, I didn't see that." So I thought I would go ahead and show you. Okay. And then, let me make sure I'm on screen here. I put the sticker on here and peeled off the backing. And now I can just make sure I have something in the background so that I can line the sticker up with the stamp, press it down, and it's boom, ready to go. And I am going to, I guess I'm going to use black ink for that, since that's all that I have here, other than the colors I'm using for the next card. And there we go. There's that one. And I didn't turn my phone back off, so let me do that now. Okay. Tilara, I'm sorry, Tilara has trouble with her internet connection. Don't mind the other side of this. This was practice. You know, you can't waste paper, right? So let me just give you the measurements for this one. And you can adjust it a little bit if you want it. Well, I adjusted it down to make this one that would fit in a regular card. Let me give you these measurements. So each of these 4 panels is 4¼ inches this way by 4 inches this direction. And then I scored them each at 1¼ Okay. And I'm going to show you how I put them together on the next card. All right, it's going to be a little bit different, but so this measurement, you'll want to write that down if you want to make one to fit in a regular size envelope. So 4 by 4¼ on the 4-inch side. The 4-inch would be at the top. You'll score it at 1¼ Okay, so each of these little panels in here is 1¼ inch. And then, so you have, I saw some that have blank spots on one side, and I didn't like that. So what I did was I did a big piece and a little piece. So this piece is 2.5 by 4. And then this little piece is about 4 inches by about 1 1/8. Okay, so the small piece is And of course, this is the same. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so that's for the one that fits in a regular envelope. And this one I did at 4 by 5 1/4. And then these pieces were 5 by 2 3/4. Now this one I only scored at 1 inch. Which what happens with that, if you only score at 1 inch, that makes this wider. Okay, so on the next card, when I do that, I'm going to score at 1 1/4 so that it's not 6 inches wide. Well, actually, I don't think it matters because it's still going to be tall, and I'll show you why. I can't change that. Okay, all right, so there's that idea. And the next one is going to be about the same. Okay, so this is why I can't change it, because I saw a card done with this piece from the from this set of stamps and dies, the color and contour. And I haven't used this big die a lot because it's very large. It's almost the size of a card front. And so I like that idea, and I'm going to use it for this. And let me just grab my scoring tool, make some space here. And so I'm going to score it at, there's my stylus. I'm going to go ahead and score it at, actually, how did I cut? I might have cut these pieces to do the, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and score it at 1 inch. Let me just check that once, because I feel like I made this change and was planning to do it at 1 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and stay at 1 1/4 because that's how I cut all my little pieces. So this will be a little different than the large one. It would be the same scoring as the small one. Okay, so 1 1/4. All of them get scored at 1 1/4. So all 4 pieces. I'm just coming in 1 1/4 from here, and it's not quite 1 1/4 because this piece doesn't quite go to the 4, so I am doing it. If you want the measurement from this corner, it's 2 3/4 if you decide to do the same color and contour die. So if you measure it from here, it's 2 3/4, so almost 1 1/4 from the edge. This die doesn't measure exactly, like it's about 4 7/8. So I'm just carefully getting that little edge piece because I don't want to damage it. Okay, so all done at 2 3/4. We're finished with the scoring tool. Let me just move my paper here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fold these all on the fold, or on the score line. And I'm folding away from my indentation. That's not going to show once the card's together. Okay. All right, before I do anything else, I want to stamp my my design pieces. And I'm copying a girl, changing up the colors a little bit, but I'm using the stamp, this little stamp, and maybe this one, from Delicate Dahlia. This is one of the free celebration sets, and it's one of my favorite because there's so much detail, and you'll see it when I stamp this. If you don't want to stamp them together, you don't have to, because there's just so much detail in that one stamp. So what I have here is I have Blushing Bride, which I'm not sure why there's ink on the bottom of that. It's a brand new pad. I just opened it because for some reason mine seems to have gone missing. I have Calypso Coral and I have Poppy Parade because I love those 3 colors together. And then I have Old Olive. Now, if you see this mark here on my pad, that is because I stamped it on that piece that you saw, and it was so inky that it just made a mess. And so I am going to grab a scrap paper here just to make sure before I stamp it again. I want to make sure. Okay, Laura, you were freezing up. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, that's much better. So what I did was I just took my square, this is a paper pumpkin block, I believe, and I just pulled the color back. So I didn't waste the color. I just pulled it away from the center so that if you, let me just show you what it looks like if I do it here on the edge where all the ink is. It just gets all blotchy and yucky. But look at the difference there whenever I got rid of some of the ink. So just so you know, when you do that, if your stamp is not stamping properly, just give it, just get rid of a little bit of the ink from your surface where you're inking up, and you'll see that gorgeous look come back. Okay, so I'm going to actually put this color in the center, and then I'm going to darker colors, so I'm not going to clean it in between. I'm going to go to Calypso Coral next, and that one is actually, I thought that one seemed a little bit wet as well, so I'm going to just pull that color back. It gets a little bit on my block, so I'll clean that off. And then I'll come back in here and try it again. Oh, that's much better. It's amazing the clarity you get, the detail that you get whenever the pad is not so inky. And of course, we don't want to tell them to bring them through less inky because we need lots of ink, right? And I might just do the same with this one. And you might find that the reason I'm having trouble is because this stamp is so detailed. And I'm not even sure that you'll be able to see all the detail that's in it. It's amazing how Calypso Coral looks so much like Poppy Parade. But hopefully you can see that this has a little more orange in it. So I'm going to try to hold that closer there and just see if put that there for it to focus on. This camera doesn't do well when I lift it up to give you some to give you a bird's eye view. But anyways, let's see. I wanted one more little stamp in here. I want to use a tiny leaf, and I don't have a tiny block, so that could be a problem because you know how you always get ink on the too much ink on it, but I'll try to be careful when I'm stamping. I'm going to put a few leaves in here. There we go. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay, now I think I'm going to put a greeting on another one. And let's see. I thought that I had, oh, here it is. This one says, sending heartfelt sympathy. And I'll just go ahead and do that in the green. And I'm going to add one more flower here. Which color do I like the best? I really like that Poppy Parade. Yeah, that's okay. Put right there. And maybe one little leaf here yet. Okay. All right. Time to put together, and I'm going to go ahead and close these. I might decide later that I want to add more flowers, but for now, I better get some ink out of the way. I'm still not sure. Oh, you know what? I might have set that in the other color or something. My new pad will be messy. All right. I just don't want to get ink on this stark white paper. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put adhesive on this 1 1/4 inch strip here, and I'm using Seal Plus. I would suggest that you use that. You could use the green glue, or you could use the sticky strip. But because this card is going to get a lot of friction, it definitely needs something heavier than just a regular adhesive. And I'm trying to think. I want this one to go. I don't really care how that goes. It'll look pretty either way. Okay, I think I'll do it. No, I think I'm going to do another one here because I want, you know, the other ones I didn't have to think about it because I didn't care, but I sort of want that design piece to be on the front, and I don't want this saying to show on my front piece. So I'm going to stick that in there. Okay, so hopefully you saw, did I do that wrong? Yep, I didn't scoot it in far enough. Sorry. Where's my heat tool? Okay, it's coming, it's coming. I thought I had it pushed in the whole way, but I don't know why it didn't. Guess I was talking too much. Okay. All right, so you want to stick this into that fold, into the corner. Okay. And then I just closed it on it like that. Your first one's pretty easy because you can, except I squared it up, right? And now I see I got a print with something on there. While it's flat, I might go ahead and try to clean that off. It's obviously something on my fingers. And just in case you don't know what I'm using here, this is this Mono Sand Eraser. We do not sell it. You can find it on Amazon. And it's fabulous at taking away little marks when you don't want them. Okay, now I'm ready to put this piece on. So what you do is you just keep building on your previous piece. And actually, I have to put this one on first because I have to keep that square going. If you can see here, I'm actually getting my square formed now. All right, so now I'm going to glue. You're always gluing this strip right here. And now I'm going to stick it down into this section. And again, I'll give that a good burnish. And then last but not least is the fourth piece. And hopefully when I'm done, my design will be where I want it to be. If not, it's not a huge deal. I'll go ahead and lay that down. Okay, so you can see it's almost a square. We didn't do this last one yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that one. And that one just goes back into this last fold. And press that up. And I'm going to get that in place, and then I'll go ahead and lay this flat. Yay! So that's what I wanted on the front of my card. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate these panels, and then this will be where I can sign it. So that will be on the back of my card. So I pulled out the peach paper because I like how it goes with the Calypso. And so I'm going to put that here. And we'll see if I have this cut correctly. Usually you stick it on beforehand, but yeah, I don't have it quite as big as I want it to be, but that's okay. I'll center it here. If you want a little border around it, I'll tell you what measurement you should have if you decide to do it with this. So I have it 2 1/4 inches wide, and it should be, I'm going to take a 1/4 inch off. It should be 4 1/2 inches tall if you want the little border around the whole way. Okay, but I think that's going to look really cute like that. And then I'm going to take this piece, and I wasn't sure how much I needed, so I didn't cut this yet. And I'm going to put that here. Just press that down. So I'm going to see how much I need, and I'll leave a little border like this has here. I usually just use my fingernail to make the mark. And then I'll come in and cut that. And that is exactly 1 inch. Is that 1 inch? Is that the piece I'm using? No, that's not 1 inch. This is the side that I'm using. This is 1 1/4 inches. Okay. Oh, that's beautiful, if I must say so myself. And I see I have a little bit of paper here from my die cutting, because now this one is upside down. So I'm just going to make sure that's all gone, because I sure don't want that to show when my card is folded. So there we go. I will put this panel and this panel on this side as well. And so that well, I can go ahead and put this one on. I still have to cut that other one down a little bit, but. So once you make one of these and you want to make the rest the same, then you can go ahead and cut all your pieces and glue them on before you make your box, because then you can press everything on a little more easily. But this way I can see which section I want to do first. Okay, Barbara, it's different than the one you made. All right. Well, like I said, this is my take on it. I didn't really pay attention to how people did it, other than I just assumed you make this cute little square in the center and this gorgeous card. So again, if you like to fit it in a regular size envelope, then these first measurements I gave you that were 4 inches this way by 4 1/4 tall, that makes a 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 inch card that fits right into an envelope. And this one was scored at 1 1/4 inches on the 4-inch side. So yeah, let me just cut a piece to show you, in case it's not making sense to you. So I'm going to cut a piece. We're going to pretend it's that piece. So I'm going to do a 4-inch by 4 1/4. And so the 4 1/4 is the tall piece. Okay, because that's the stand-up part. So that's 4 1/4. And so this is 4 inches up here, and we're going to score that at 1 1/4. So if you want to do it on this, you can score it on here. You'll put this piece at, I took it down from 4 to 3 to another quarter. So that makes at 2 3/4, you will give it a score. Okay. And then you'll put those together just like I did these other ones, and you will just start. You always glue one short side to one long side. Okay, that's not true. Let me think. I'm doing this wrong. Let me go ahead and cut another 2 pieces, and then I'll do the 4 1/4 again, so that. Because I think I like to fit things in the regular size envelope. Otherwise, you have to make an envelope to fit, and sometimes that's not as handy. So let me go ahead and score this again. We said 2 3/4. All right, so now these pieces will be matching. Let me get rid of this. All right, so I've got my 4 pieces all scored out. Well, let me turn this one this way. Oh, we've even got a beautiful design on there, guys. Excuse me. Okay, so, yeah, what the world? I'm like losing my mind all of a sudden. I can't remember how I did this. Okay, this short piece goes into the fold of the longer section. Okay, so it always goes into the fold, but just remember, you're always making the center 1 1/4 inch square. So all of your 1 1/4 inch squares have to be in the center. And then you'll glue this one into the center of that one, and then you'll glue this one into the center of that one. Okay, and when that's all finished, you'll come back and you'll glue this one into the center of the last one, creating your square. Okay, so hopefully that helped you with those measurements for that card. All right, I'm glad you like it, Barbara. I do love how it turned out. I might have to put a ribbon on here yet, but I think the colors are stunning. Okay, and I just love this color contour design. It really makes it fancy, But how easy was that, right? I mean, it took us a couple seconds to put that together. And then, of course, this one that's mostly designer paper, I didn't stamp anything. I cut out the little bird from the paper here. And that was really quick to make. And then this one is mostly designer paper as well. I just need to finish my edges back here. Just a little bit of die cut there just to pull that color out. It needed to pop. And then I could put something across. I could put a ribbon across there as well. In fact, I might go ahead and do that. I might add a I'm gonna do a, what do I have here? I always have this cording laying around. I know I didn't have it Saturday when I needed it for class, but it's always here on my table. I usually keep some in here to add to things. And let's see, I had some scissors here somewhere. Where did they go? Oh, buried under my ink pad. I think that'll make a cute little addition there. Let's grab a glue dot. All right, so anybody getting creative today? Thank you, Sylvia. Anybody get any inspiration today? I'd love to see what you guys are making, working on. But yeah, so I hope you like that. I will, I'll try to do write up a little information about exactly what you need in the sizes here for this very card. If you guys want any for the other ones, let me know, and I can do that as well. All right, thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you have a good night. I hope you enjoyed that little project, and God bless.